Thank you, everyone. If you could just be as quick as possible. Thank you very much. Thank you. We are ready to go. We have Gregor Townsend and Grant Gilchrist. If you'd like to put your hand in the air as clear as possible, we will go to the floor for questions. Any questions? At the front here, please. It's just there.
Do you want to start with Grant and then you can go back to the change room and then I'll continue? Is that okay?
Grant, Darcy Graham, 4 tries tonight, now joint second on the scoring list all time. Do you think he's going to catch Hoggy?
If I was a betting man, I'd say yes. No, he was outstanding tonight. You always know I've played a lot of games with Darcy for Edinburgh and Scotland, and you know exactly what you're going to get week in, week out. And some of the tries he scored tonight were truly world class, and I'm sure he'll keep doing that as long as he plays.
What were your reflections on the performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was a really professional performance from us. What we set out to do is make sure that we got our energy levels right and that we were accurate. Romania were physical at the start of the game and throughout the game. They were putting in big shots, but I loved the way we stuck to our systems. At times we got a bit ragged, but across 80 minutes we generally stuck to system. Our breakdown work was good, and we were able to exploit them once we got in a higher phase count.
Thank you. Any more questions? Thank you.
Grant, obviously, brilliant win tonight, but you'll already very soon switching your minds to Ireland. How do you feel in terms of what you've done put out on the field tonight, going into that Ireland game? Everyone talks about momentum. You'll have that, I guess.
Yeah, that was the bigger picture tonight. We knew we needed 5 points, but we need more than that. We needed a performance that was a step forward for us as a group. I think we got that, but we know that next week is a new week. We need to build the week, and you don't need to big up next weekend any more than everybody else will. It's huge, so our preparation will reflect that, and we'll give absolutely everything through the week and obviously on the Saturday.
Thank you. Any more hands? Yeah, just at the front here. Thank you.
Greg, can I just ask you what your thoughts were on Hamish and the shift that he put in tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was very good. He started carrying really well, and that gave a big boost to the team, knowing that to be physical against a physical side, and you can carry those initial hits, you'll make yards there, and you'll get quick ball, and he was a big part of that. And he's trained really well all week. I think he's in excellent physical shape as well. He showed that tonight.
Has he stuck up a hand for next week, perhaps?
Yeah, well, of course. Not thought about selection. We'll get onto that tomorrow. But having seen the game tonight, I'm sure we'll go into more detail around ruck clears and tackles and other work. But I thought he played well.
Thank you. Did you have your hand at the front, sir?
Bonjour, Midi Olympique, Jérôme Prévost. Grégor, d'un point de vue technique, qu'est-ce qui a vraiment bien marché ce soir?
Beaucoup de choses. Le touche était très efficace, surtout le ballon porté. La connexion entre les avants, les trois quarts, était impeccable pour la plupart de le match. Notre discipline, jusqu'à la 70e minute, était très bon aussi. Mais la chose la plus importante, c'était l'équipe. L'équipe a bien fonctionné. Il y avait beaucoup de cohésion sur le terrain. C'est tout.
Thank you. On the right.
Gregor, can we just ask you about Darcy as well? He's only just turned 26 this summer, I think. So, he's not only got a chance to break that record, but absolutely smash it, does he not?
Yeah. I think he's someone that is going to create opportunities for for scoring tries, and a lot of that is his willingness to get on ball. Like he called a lot of the balls because he got back off the ground to be in position. He saw space, and he also is a great finisher. His footwork for, I think it was his 4th try, was incredible. He had a couple of assists in there too, so he certainly plays for the team, and it was brilliant to see. I think the last 2 games, Darcy's really gone for it, and we've seen that in training. It is sometimes tough when you're a winger and you've maybe not had the game time that he would have liked over the summer when he picked up that little niggle, but he's now flying, and that's brilliant to see.
It was an all new, or was it not quite an all new midfield unit because Chris played last week. The 3 of them were outstanding in concert, were they not?
They were. I thought Ben Healy has to take a lot of credit to how well he put people into space. I thought he managed his game very well in that first half because Romania were defending well and they were very physical, so he mixed up the game with some really good kicks. And then the second half, the temptation was to go to the width a lot, but there was also some space for him and others close to him to go in between defenders, and he did that well. So yeah, no, I'm really pleased for him. I think he's trained really well, and he's professional and clinical in his performance tonight.
Thank you. On the left.
Greg, can Grant go back to the change room if anybody got any more questions for Grant?
Yeah, all good.
It's okay.
Easy.
Sorry.
No worries. Greg, a high-pressure game next week. Do you think, given Ireland's unhappy history in the tournament, do you think the pressure is going to be bigger on them for that game?
I'm not going to answer that question. Ireland are the number 1 team in the world. They're on the back of 16 wins, so I'm sure they're not going to be thinking about what's happened in previous tournaments. They've got a lot of confidence in how they have played for the last 2 or 3 years, and obviously they'll take a huge amount of confidence from the last game that they managed to get a win there.
And in terms of the way the group has panned out, though, you don't have any complaints about the fact that the scheduling and the fact that you'd only played 1 game and they played 3, etc.
No. Probably have complaints about the draw and when it was made, and the rankings were based on 4 years ago, but nothing about the scheduling.
Just at the front here. Thank you.
Gregor, how pleased are you with the way the team's responded from the South Africa game? Back-to-back wins, pretty comfortable, and how well set are you for next week?
Yeah, I'm really pleased. I think there was a lot of hard work that has gone in at training. We had a 2-week break between South Africa and Tonga, and we had 3 very tough sessions in the heat, physical sessions. And the players trained really well this week, a very physical session on Wednesday. So they're putting in the hard yards that is required to then play at a level where you can score the amount of tries we've scored the last 2 games, where we've been able to set up this shootout game with Ireland. So the credit goes to the players and how hard they've worked. And how hard they worked tonight and against Tonga. Like, both games were very physical. And you've got to make sure you win that physical battle. You work hard to be an extra man in attack and defence, and the players did that tonight.
Thank you.
Greg, can I ask? Sorry, can I ask? The substitutions, you took Ollie off and brought Blair on, and some people might have thought you'd rest Darcy at that point. Was that kind of, you wanted to give Darcy a chance to kind of carry on what he was doing and chase that 89 points? What was the thinking behind it, I suppose, is what I'm asking?
It was really to find out which of the back 3 were struggling the most physically. Kyle had injured his ankle in the first half, and I thought we're going to have to make a change earlier than planned. Ollie got a couple of whacks, one on his face, he got a whack in his shin as well. So that was a decision, just to minimise the risks. People are already got little niggles. So no, it was nothing to do with anything thinking about next week. I think during the week I did say to Blair, you might come on at 10, you might come on at 15, you might come on wing, and I thought he did really well when he came on at 15.
You mentioned the injuries, the knocks there. Is there anyone else? Is there anybody that you're concerned about?
No, I think they're the usual straight after a game collisions. Ollie got a whack in his shins. I thought Kyle did very well to get over his jarred ankle, but he played 80 minutes, so he feels he'll be good to go for next week.
Thank you.
Gregory, 2 more yellow cards, at stage yellow cards in the bunker. Thoughts?
I have not watched them back. I think that was my response after the South Africa game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to trust the system, Tom. So
why do you have to trust the system?
Because the system's put in place to make sure we make good decisions there. And yeah, I suppose the good news tonight is the head collisions that our players suffered weren't with much force, and they didn't require an HIA, which meant our players showed no concussive symptoms. So that's one positive.
Okay, and just finally from me, can you think over the games against Ireland, and is there anything specific that jumps out about Scotland's downfall in those games? Is there something that you did or didn't do that kind of created difficult for yourselves?
Yeah, it's a very leading question. And the games we played, they're all different, apart from the fact that Ireland have won the last 7 or 8. There's been the games that we've played better in. We've certainly put pressure on Ireland on the scoreboard. We've had opportunities to go and win a game or potentially draw a game. I remember out in Dublin we lost by 7 points in 2020, I think it was, and we definitely left a couple of tries on the field. In 2021. Murrayfield, I think it was 21 all or 24 all going into the last 2 or 3 minutes. And to reflect on this year's performance, that was probably our best performance for 50 minutes. We had a couple of huge opportunities in the first half. One we got after Duan made a line break to 5 metres of the Irish line. We lost the ball in contact, and just before half time we were close to scoring, and we got bundled into touch. So I think at any test match, when you play a team who are very good, are ranked in the top 3 or 4, and Ireland are now the number 1 team in the world, you have to take your opportunities. But you've got to create them first as well. And the encouraging thing is we have created opportunities. Taking them and playing at a level of intensity and accuracy till the final whistle is important. And that's always challenging against the top teams, but we believe in our team that we're capable of doing that.
Thank you. On the left.
Hi, Gregor.
Hi.
Ben Healy, 100% from the tee, I think. What did you make of his performance?
Yeah, I thought he played really well. He it's a tricky game when you've got to do the basics first, and he talked a lot about that with the group. You've got to make sure that you manage the game and where to attack or where to kick, depending on speed of ball, depending on what the defence is doing. And then when situations open up, when the opposition go down to 14 and 13 men, how do you exploit that? And how do you keep on task and not get ahead of yourself when the scoreboard is going up? And I felt he did that really well. And he grew into the game as a runner too in the second half, which is something that he's definitely developing and showing in our trainings. The goal kicking was an added bonus, and we were encouraging him to kick quickly. So to knock them over and be accurate with not taking the full minutes kicking was well done to him as well.
Thank you. And then the final question at the front.
Hi, Gregor. You said before the game you sort of challenged some of the players that hadn't had much time to make a case to play against Ireland or be involved against Ireland. You mentioned Hamish there. Is there anybody else from the kind of fringe guys you thought?
Yeah, all of them. Although I thought the way the players applied themselves in training, like to be given that opportunity, you could see how much they wanted to go and grab it. And it's been a tough time for a lot of these players to not play. Some of them haven't played since the Italy game and our first World Cup warm-up game. And that was a deliberate policy to keep a 23, a 15 working as much together as we built up to the South Africa game. And then when you have a 2-week break and then on to this game another week, it's a long time to get ready to play in the World Cup. But they grabbed their opportunity tonight. Now, whether that means they play next week or not, we'll get through selection and we'll decide the best team we believe to go out and beat Ireland. But I'm really pleased with the level of competition, the depth we have, and the individual performances tonight. That mean whoever goes out next week, we'll be confident in their ability to get the job done.
Fantastic. And that is a wrap. Thank you very much, everybody. The mix zone is now open. If you just head straight up the back of the room, the volunteers will guide you. Thank you.
Thank you.